Some things in life are bad, they can really make you mad. Other things just make you swear and curse. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. And this'll help things turn out for the best. And always look on the
It's
bright
Monday,
side of life.
And the last 2 weeks have been amazing for the number of occurrences of things like receiving bad food in restaurants, being ignored in stores when I actually am seeking help from one of the customer service people or whatever they call themselves these days. And there's just been a number of these experiences. So I was thinking this morning, gee, what could I talk about? And I thought, I don't really want to turn this into a genuine rant, but I do want to share with you one experience that I had that I thought was quite comical, actually. This was a big week for my stepdaughter. She was nominated for a very important award here in our city. And there was a big gala event at which the nominees were presented and the winners were announced. So, of course, like good parents, step-parents, and my sister-in-law visiting from Winnipeg, super-duper aunt, we went there at great expense, I might add, to go and support her and to go and be a part of this wonderful event. At this point, I need to let you know that I'm never comfortable at these events. I wasn't born with the sufficient and proper DNA to be a really functioning person at these events. However, I will show up when called to duty. We had to pick up our tickets at the door, which of course was a big kerfuffle. We were sent to a window. That window sent us back to the table that sent us to that window. That window sent us back to the table, explaining that they were wrong. And I was getting seasick from going back and forth. Eventually, window lost and had to give us our tickets. Once we got to the table at the front of the big gala event, where everybody's dressed to the nines and, swooping through, they needed to find us on some kind of piece of paper. And all of this was taking an a huge amount of time. So I noticed to my left, while we were going through this whole thing on the right, that there was a table, and it had quite a large number of name tags, those plastic name tags. And it looked kind of interesting. They were all laid out so that you could see them, and they had the name of a person, and then what their function was, why they were at the event. So, for example, they might have the name of a person who'd been nominated and say, nominee. Or they might have the name of a person who was a nominator. I became quite interested in this because there was so much other kerfuffle going on over here. So I stood and looked at this wide open table on which these name tags were located in clear view for anybody to see, and would eventually be worn by a person, so would again be in clear view. And this rather pretentious woman walks up to me and she says, "Excuse me, are you a nominee?" And I just kind of looked at her. I said, "No, I'm not." "Oh," she says, "are you a nominator?" And I again looked at her and I said, "No, I'm not. I'm the stepmother of a nominee, and I'm attending this evening." And she turns around, and I would like to impress upon you that we paid a lot of money to attend this event. It wasn't cheap, and we were doing it out of the goodness of our hearts. She turned around and she said to me, "Then why are you reading the name tags? There isn't one there for you." Okay. So I just looked at her and I said, "Because I'm interested." And then My eyes looked back down to the table, and I kept doing what I was doing. She has what I could best describe as a little physical tizzy fit. And she says, well, inquiring minds want to know. How utterly rude. I don't know who this chick was or what her function was other than protector of the name tags, but it was rather astonishing that she could be so rude to somebody who had paid to get into an event as pretentious as the event that we were attending. Anyway, I didn't let it bother me. I kind of giggled. But a little bit later, when I had an opportunity and I was standing chatting with some people that I knew, including my sister-in-law, in a little group, about maybe 5 feet away from her, I relayed that particular event, and everybody just turned and looked at her like this. And she knew what we were doing. She turned around. Anyway, that's it. I just wanted to tell you a little story about the silliness that has been the last couple of weeks for me. I've got 100 of them, but I'll just tell you that one. So that's it. Moan a bit on Monday. I'm going to moan. I've moaned. That's my moan. See you next week.
Always look on the bright